Yo, what's up, dude? So this is the time core delay by NewX right there. It can do 7 different types of delay plus a looper. It has true stereo ins and outs. It's a true bypass. It can lock, tone lock a patch. It can do a tail end after a patch. We'll explore that in a little bit. And it has 7 different types of delay, which are really cool. Tape delay, which will get weaker and lose a little high end as it goes on each loop. And that doesn't have a very long delay, right? Just like a tape wouldn't. Then there's straight up digital delay that has very long delay, crystal clear repeats, straight up digital delay. And then there's the analog emulated delay. That emulates the bucket brigade style, so each one will get a little more distorted as it goes on, actually. A little warmer and a little more distorted as it goes through the analog cycles. Then we have ping pong, left and right ping pong, panning left and right. Mod, which will make the repeats detune a little bit. I found when I ran it in mono mode, it was more pronounced. I'm running it in stereo for the demo, so I don't think you hear it as much because it's just chorusing the 2 outputs, and that's not as noticeable as when it detunes one output, and you really notice it. Reverse, which sounds best when you turn the mix all the way up to 100%, because then you don't have the original guitar. It's only the reverse guitar, and it sounds really cool. And then hold, and that's basically a looper. I try to do a loop here. Remember, it's up on the bench, so really to loop it, you kind of need your foot on it to be instant. I have to take my hand off the guitar and reach around and press it. So I'm off by a few seconds, but you can get the gist of it. So it's a 9-volt battery, but these digital delays, any of these digital products, you're better off to run a power supply. It comes with a battery, but I never used it. My Dunlop power supply plugged and played just worked perfectly. No problem at all. So let's throw it up on the bench and we'll take a look. All right, so the first thing we want to look at is all the different types of delays that are on it. So here we go through the tape delay, the digital, the analog, the ping pong, and we can try out all the different delays. Check that out. All right, next up we look at tail versus non-tail. So in other words, when it's in tail mode, When you turn it off, the repeats will continue. When you're in normal mode and you hit it and it's repeating, when you turn it off, the repeats will cease to repeat. And you can check that out right here. All right, the next thing to look at is TLock mode. TLock mode allows us to lock the knobs. So if you really find the sound you like and you're worried about losing that sound, you just hold the button down and put it in TLock mode and the knobs become inoperative. So you can't ruin it. So take a look at it here. All right, another thing I wanted to check out was the ping pong delay. I thought that was one of the best delays in here. And here we can check out the ping pong delay. And another cool one was the reverse. Check out the reverse mode right here. All right, so one of the things I like to check out is how well does it do a tape slapback. So I set it to tape mode and I put the time to minimum and I set it way up in the mix and gave it like a country style slapback, and you can check that out right here. I think my favorite delay of the whole pedal was the panning delay. I found myself using that the most. Here's a couple of clips of me playing the panning delay. And of course, besides being a delay pedal, it's also a mini looper. So here I am fooling around with the looper function. It was a little bit hard for me to hit the button because it wasn't under my foot, but you get the gist. Check it out right here. All right, so that's the pedal. I have to say, I was really impressed with this pedal. It's very inexpensive. I thought it sounded great. It was true stereo. The specs are really good. I believe it's 24 dB. 24-bit at 44.1K. It has 100 dB of dynamic range, and I think it's minus 93 dB on the noise, and the total harmonic distortion is less than 0.003%. So, pretty low. And I just thought the whole thing sounded really good. Of course, once you put it in stereo, it becomes a whole new pedal. But link down in the description. I encourage you to check them out. I thought it was pretty cool. If you're in the market for a nice little digital delay, they're fairly inexpensive and it does quite a bit. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for stopping by, and rock on.